Oh, that says 14. Okie dokie. 14 mustaches. Oh, look, we lost one already. I guess we're too dull. Come back, come back. Just giving folks a few minutes to click in, and then we'll get going here. Hope everybody had a good week off. You know, enjoying the sunshine. We had some. Oh, we're losing even more. Holy cow! One look at me here. See the T-shirt. One look at me. Everybody's clicking off. What's that about? All right. Well, at any rate, let's get started.
All right, prepare. Salute. Big family
welcome.
Welcome back. Okay, drop your head to the chest. Rotate in gentle circles. When we get to the bottom, reverse. Pause at the bottom. Roll the head over to one shoulder. Stretch down the opposite arm. Across the front to the other shoulder. Stretch. Switch. Stretch. Switch. One more each side. Back to the center, slowly raising and turning to look over the shoulder. Across to the other side. Switch. Switch. Try not to blink on these last ones.
It's easy if you keep your eyes shut.
I think that's cheating. Back to center, rolling the shoulders. And reverse. Rotating through the arms to come forward and back. Rotating through the arms to come forward and back. Good. Rotating from the piriformis pressure point. Not the piriformis pressure point. The xiphoid
Do this
process.
while she figures out what she's doing. It's the wrong side of your body.
Yeah. We'll do that later. And reverse. Feet wider, big circles. There, I think that counts as rotating from the piriformis pressure point.
No.
Reverse. In small circles. And reverse. Good. Oh, no, vertical circles. I'll get there.
1 week. 1 week and she forgets it all.
And reverse. Warming up the hands. Squeeze. Interlace the fingers. Warming up the lower back. 2/5. Up to the lower back. Down to the xiphoid process.
That's the other part. For those of you that are not up on your technical terms, what she was doing there was the piriformis pressure point. This is your xiphoid process. And today, pulleys are reversed.
Okay.
They do that sometimes. They kind of like the poles of the earth migrate from one to the other. I think is what's happening here with her.
Put one foot out.
She's migrating.
Rub the knees. It is springtime, right? Warming up the sides and the back of the leg. Back to the front. Fingers in the ridge of the kneecap. Top and bottom. And around the kneecap, massaging gently. Good. A little more heat into the hands. Squeeze. Interlace. Other foot. Warming up the knee. Sides and around to the back. To the front. Fingers in the ridge of the kneecap. And top and bottom. Bend the leg.
Excuse me, folks, we have a weird noise in the background. I'll be right back. I know exactly what's doing it.
Good. Palms on the kneecaps. Rotate in circles. And reverse. And open. Back together. Open back together. Open back together. Open back together. Reverse. Back. Open together. Back open together. Back open together. Back open together. Good. Touching the toe. Rotating the ankle. And reverse. Other foot. Oh, we'll do that next. No more weeks off for me. Reverse. Pressing the pads and massage. Now we'll pick up the other foot. Press the pads and massage.
Now, if you're hearing noise in the background, I can't do anything about that. That's a train.
Warming up the wrists. And reverse. And loosening up the hands and fingers. Stretch. Individually. Pressing on the knuckles. And thumb. And the other direction. Stretch out the hand. Switch hands. And individually. Oh, that feels good today. And the other direction, down the stretch. Okay, one foot out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Up and into the shin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Pulling the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And switching sides. And down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. To the shins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Pulling back on the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Rolling up. And hand makes a fist. Massage the lower back in circles. and reverse, and across, down, across, up, supporting the lower back, bending forward, bend the knees, roll up, stretch back, and forward. Bend and roll up, forward, bending to roll up, and one hand towards the ceiling, switch sides, switch, and switch, and one more each side. All right.
Good, good. So this week we start with fan. And as usual, when we do a new weapon, I like to talk a little bit about the weapon. So fan's pretty much been around since human beings have been around, because we came fully formed with two at the end of our arms. But human beings being human beings, we always have to go for bigger and better. So for the next thing we did was we went out and we snipped some fronds and used a much bigger leaf. Fan as a weapon probably originated about the same time, because when they were all sitting around waving palm fronds at themselves, somebody broke some wind, somebody else went, "That's terrible," and whacked them with said palm frond, and there we have the origins of fan as a weapon. We also found out that fan is good for dispersing odors in that same incident. So that's our origin of fan as a weapon. Now we developed fan, we made it a little more complex because, well, palm fronds don't fold very well, and they don't have a real long shelf life. So we went ahead and we developed something like this. This is a fan as we know it, a kung fu fan, if you will, a Chinese martial art fan. So unlike some of the stuff you would find, those little paper fans you'd find in the pews and things like that, it's a little more sturdy. It's typically was made with bamboo. And these are the tines. And then this is, at least originally was silk. I'm not sure that this is still a silk material, but it is a silk-like material in between the tines. So again, every once in a while, you'll probably hear me refer to the tines. That's the little bamboo strips, and then the fan. Fan as a weapon. You couldn't take your spear everywhere. It's tall and pointy and scary. You can't take your sword everywhere because, well, it just was frowned upon. There are just certain areas you couldn't. But the fan was considered kind of a safe thing. It was just an item people carried around with them for their comfort. And so to utilize it as a weapon only made sense because you had them readily available and they were considered non-threatening. Now there is some discussion about the idea that people used to put little pieces of metal on the end of the tines here, and they would use that to cut. And while I'm sure that probably did go on at least a couple of times, the reality is this was a good weapon because you could carry it and people didn't think you carried a weapon. You start doing that sort of thing and people are going to assume it's a weapon and then it kind of becomes self-defeating. So yeah, that probably did happen. I'm suspecting that it's probably not as widespread as we talk about it today. But unless I can H.G. Wells my rear back to the time, there's no way I'll ever know for sure. How we use it as a weapon. The fan can be used as a weapon a couple of different ways. We can point, stab, and poke with this pointier round end. We can poke with the flatter long end. It's a nice little club with it. Another interesting use for fan, it's a distraction. That sound that movement. When I'm doing that, you're not looking at what I'm doing over here because you're too busy paying attention to the fan. So it's a very good distraction. Which brings us to our next point. Should I do the fan with the pattern facing out or the pattern facing in? Well, it's basically a distraction. So logically speaking, out. However, you paid the money, you picked the design. I don't see any real flaw in you being able to enjoy looking at it. So either way is actually fine. So you can do it in or out, not a wrong way. So let's get to how we hold the fan. So I'm going to try to close in a little bit on this. So this is our top tine. So I'm going to put the top tine in my hand, and I'm going to pinch the top tine between my thumb and forefinger. So now I'm holding the fan straight up. I move the top tine out and I pinch it with my thumb and forefinger. If I rotate my arm and let my fingers go, the fan should just drop. If it doesn't just drop, you're not holding it right. If you're trying to get it to go the other way, it won't open all the way. Turn it over, let it go the other way. It should just drop. Now I know at least one of you is having a little bit of trouble with their fan. The fan does loosen up. If you look, there's a little bit of a rivet right there, and that can be a little tight because it's pinching these tines together. So that'll loosen up a little bit. You can work it a little bit if you need to try to loosen it up. It is very possible that you may go too far and pop that little rivet head off. If that's the case and you can find it, just push it back on, and you can try to squeeze it, pound it a little bit, whatever, to get it back on. But do be careful because that can be a little bit tough. So, you know, try not to get crazy when you're loosening it up. Got anything to add?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe we should practice.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So now that we have that, let's grab the top tine, and we're going. Oh, let's talk about hand positions a little bit. So we do an exercise, pull the rope, and in that exercise, pull the rope. At the end, I'm always saying, roll your fingers in one at a time. And here's where that pays off. So when I have my fingers wrapped, because I want this part to be in the palm of my hand. So when I have my fingers wrapped, I need to be able to spread my fan, and that's that rotation that we do in that exercise. So we can spread the fan and keep it nice and big and open. So we spread. Again, still keeping the thumb and the forefinger on the tines, pinching it. We use these fingers to spread it, and it's sitting in my palm. That is a nice open fan. Now, you notice how I'm adjusting it here based on the camera. So there'll be times when we have that fan. We're going to want to make sure that the fan's not pointed at a weird angle because you know, part of the fan, this form, is its aesthetics. It's a visually striking form where we move this fan around. And so we want to show that off a little bit. So we want to be able to stretch the fan out, and we want to be able to keep it flat to the body. So those are two things you should be aware of when you're practicing with the fan. So let's practice. Grab the top tine. And again, it doesn't matter which way you have the fan up. It's, as long as you're grabbing the top tine, everything should work. So we're going to grab the top tine. We're just going to let it drop. We'll flip the wrist and bring it back up, and we capture it by grabbing those fingers. Same type of movement as pull the rope. Drop, wrap, wrap. Let's try sideways. Slap, open, retreat. Slap, retreat. Slap, retreat. Slap, retreat. Now, all of this can be done with just the arm. Fair enough. But all that work we've done on pushing off the foot, turning the body, this will add drama to our fan form. We'll get into that a little bit more later. So let's do it sideways. And back. And back. And back. Good. All right. Well, that's just basics of fan. Yes, you will drop your fan from time to time. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be there to see it. This is one of my favorite parts of Fan. On the bright side, I don't have to listen to 20 people going, which is a lot all at once. So pluses and minuses, right? You know. So yes, you're going to drop your fan from time to time. That just happens. It's generally about keeping it cupped in the palm and pinched here. With that, you should be able to let it move freely. And practice, as always, practice is everything with that. Fan form, the whole form is on the web. If you need that, please let me know, and I will send you the link if you can't find it. So let's practice our form. Actually, let me do it from the front first. So it's just open, raising both hands. As we come back down, we snap the fan open. It's all there is to opening forms. Opening, raising, snap. Do that a couple times. Opening, raising, snap. Again. Opening, raising, snap. Again. Opening, raising, snap. Good. Now let's slow this down, because this is where all of that body work that we've been doing this last year comes into play, and you'll notice it in the sound of your fan. So we raise up the foot, we open. We're going to push off the outside of the foot to get to the center, push off the toes to raise up. Just do that once. Open, raise, and relax. Again, think about the feet. Open, push off the side, push off the toes, and relax down. Good. Now this is where it gets interesting. So we go open, raising. As we come back down, I'm going to push off of the right foot, or the same side foot as the fan, to move me over across as I open the fan. Then I'm going to push back to snap. All right, so it's open, nice and slow. Push off the right, push off the left. See how that kind of makes an S with the energy? Open, push, push, and it adds more of a snap versus. Okay, let's do it a couple times. Push off the foot, push off the foot. Open, push off the side, raising, push off the right, push off the left. Again, open, raising, push. And again, open, raising, push. And again, open, raising, push. All right. So we're going to do next movement here. So after we do open, raising, push. Again, I want a nut. Let me turn it around so you can see. I want a nice flat to my body fan. I want it a little bit away from my body, so not a lot of space, you know, fist and a half kind of deal. I don't want it too high, I don't want it too low, just keep, but I want to show some of it too. So I don't want to cover my face, but I don't want to too low, too high. So from here, I'm going to step back, and I'm going to block low, shift back high. So I'm doing white crane spreads its wings. So for those of you that have done this move before, block, shift, swipe. So let's try it empty-handed first. So we're here. So I'm going to take my right hand, come across my knee, step back, my foot at an angle, shift back as I lift up, brush and touch. White crane spreads its wings. Again, block the knee, shift back. White crane spreads its wings. So what are we doing here? Well, I just opened my fan. Chloe's going to try to punch out. I'm blocking. Blocking. And she's going to watch that fan, so she's not going to be seeing that kick, because that fan's up here, distracting her. Remember, one of the good purposes of fan is it's a distraction. So again, I'm open, she tries to punch in, I block, and she's again drawn to that fan, and we kick. That's the next movement. So from the beginning, open, raising, brush across, shift back, lift, and again, open, raising, brush across, shift back, lift, and again, open, raising, brush across, shift back, lift. Good. So a couple things we want. A, we're here, so we want a nice open fan. We turn the fan so it's the edge of the tine here blocking the knee. So as we demonstrated, you know, she was doing an upper punch, but she could just as easily be doing a stomach punch. I want to block here, so I want to block with the tine. If she's down there at a kick, I want to block with the tine. So it's here because it puts my arm in the right position and fan in the right position. So when I'm here, I bring it down and sweep. Notice how I'm keeping it nice and open, sweeping the knee. Shift back, making the semicircle as I come up.
Can you show the beginning part there really slowly?
Which beginning?
Before you swim.
Open, raising, brush across. Shift back. Good. Let me show that from the front. So we're open, raising, we brush across as we step back. Notice my foot's at a 45-degree angle. Shift back and lift. Brush. Open, raising, brush across. Shift back, lift. Good. Open, raising, brush across. Good. Open, raising, brush across. A couple more times. Open, raising, brush across. And one more time. Two. Open, raising, brush across. Last time. Open, raising, brush across. Good. So again, this is just like any other form. We start slow, we build on it. So in the upcoming weeks, we'll do more. But for right now, we're just going to do this first two. Open, raising, brush across. A couple things that I want you to concentrate on is a nice position here of inverting the fan so that we've got the tine out with a nice semicircle. So we have this big sweep of the fan. So practice that this week, and also practice a big sweep of the fan. So practice that this week, and also practice rotating in and out of the fan and a little fan control, and practice holding the fan. And if you have any troubles with your fan whatsoever, so it's obviously a little tough to do through email, but I will try to help you figure it out as best as I can. All right, so you can go ahead and put your fans down for the moment. We're going to move into something else. So the other part of what I wanted to do this summer is meditation. And I don't want to do, you know, the big 15-minute meditations that we do every year. I'm more interested in doing some short meditations that you can take home and do on a regular basis. So I'm more interested in that. And again, if you have any meditation ideas, please send them because I'm a little short on the idea compartment. So please send them. So meditation, what is it? Who does it? And what do you get from it? I can't answer all that. I don't know why I came up with that. Meditation, what is it? It's pretty hard to define because there's so many ways to do it. There's so many ideas behind it that you just can't say it's this. It just doesn't work. Generally speaking, though, we're trying to give the mind a little break. We're trying to give it a little rest. Our poor brain box works all the time. You know, even when we sleep, a vast majority of the sleep is processing information anyway. And then, you know, human beings, again, with the human beings and their brilliant ideas, we decided that because we can process more information, we should have more information to process. And now we bombard ourselves with more information than we can process. And instead of going slow and just letting it kind of wash over us and away from us, we try to engage in it all. And if you've ever noticed, like a dog gets excited, you know, you start jumping and yelling, and they'll start jumping and yelling. That kind of energy is contagious. And so our mind gets engaged in all the things going on around us. It's very difficult to keep a quiet and focused mind when everything else is going crazy around you. Very, very difficult. So that's one of the purposes, in my view, of meditation, is that this gives us a chance to give the mind a little break. We're trying to quiet it down. When the mind can declutter a little bit and have a little bit of a rest and relax a little bit, unclench, we can think better. And where the mind goes, the body goes. So if the mind's tense, the body's going to be tense too. Vice versa, if the body's tense, the mind's going to be tense. These things go together. So in my view, the main purpose of meditation is to relax and release tension in our minds. So how do we go about doing that? Commonly speaking, most meditation is based around breathing. A nice deep breathing. It's more about the rhythm of the heart and the rhythm of the breathing, just developing a pattern, a nice natural rhythm and flow that lets us slow down and release tension. And so, well, I think that's one of the big reasons why breathing is part of most meditation practices. That, and it oxygen loads us so that the body has more nutrients. And then, of course, the brain is one of the bigger burner of nutrients. So we often see breathing involved in meditation. Other than that, it's kind of like, how do you want to do it? You know, there's different aspects, ways to stand, standing post. You know, you can sit, you can visualize, you can do guided visualizations, you can just count your breaths. And again, we're going to experiment with a couple different ones this summer so that you can try a couple different things. But today, I just want to stay simple. We're going to work on our breathing. So let's think about our breathing again. So first of all, let's relax the shoulders. All that snapping and whapping and moving around gets a little tension in the shoulders. So let's get those shoulders tense. Hold them up, drop them down. Hold them up, drop them down. Push them down, let them relax. Good. Nice and relaxed shoulders. Relax the neck, relax the body, and it's all right. Nice and relaxed body. So when we breathe, just like all of our other practices, we want to breathe through the nose and fill the bottom of the lungs first. So again, there's that diaphragm muscle that goes across the bottom. So even though we call it belly, the bottom parts of our chest cavity. So what the diaphragm does is it contracts, that pulls the lungs down, which creates a negative pressure, which creates a vacuum, so air goes in. Then we squeeze it back out with the muscles of the ribs. So this is our basic function. So we want to breathe in deeply through the nose, have it travel down, and fill the bottom of the lungs to make it feel like we're filling our belly. Let's try that together. Put your hands on your dantian. Again, thumbs by the belly button, hands below. That would be hands on the dantian. We're going to fill the, breathe in through the nose and fill the bottom of the lungs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now let's take it to the top. Bring one hand up to the xiphoid process and put your hand there, a little bit above it, right above here. So now I want you to feel yourself filling the bottom and then fill the top. Go ahead and close your eyes and visualize the air coming in through the nose, pouring down into the bottom like it's water filling a pitcher, and then fill the top. Exhale, squeeze it out. Inhale. Exhale. Now, if you're standing, Good. Now, continuing to breathe, and again, you can keep your eyes closed. I want you to follow the timing of my breathing. So I'm going to count the first couple, but then I just want you to count in your head. So we're going to breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Now I'm going to slow this down. Inhale.